Continuing on from part 1, here's part 2, with another 5 characters from Harry Potter that would be strong enough to take on Lord Voldemort. Before we get started though, make sure you click that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. Barty Crouch Jr. appeared to have been very diabolical, extremely intelligent, cunning, and exceptionally manipulative. He was obviously a quite powerful wizard. His keen attention to the habits and motivations of others enabled him to impersonate Alistair Moody so accurately that he even managed to fool Albus Dumbledore. Crouch really doesn't get enough credit for his incredible plan.
I'll be welcomed back like a hero.
Crouch was an exceptional duelist. He first managed to overpower the highly skilled Auror, Mad-Eye Moody, then impersonated him, undetected for an entire year. In that time, he stole potion ingredients from Snape, tampered with the Goblet of Fire, and made convoluted arrangements to ensure Harry would win the Triwizard Tournament and be delivered directly to Voldemort, without anyone in Hogwarts suspecting a thing. In fact, only a single slip-up revealed his true identity. Crouch showed great ability at outwitting and manipulating people in order to come out on top. He was the first known escapee of Azkaban in its 300-year history. He even managed to break free from his father's Imperious Curse, which was being used to control him. Crouch was able to perform all 3 unforgivable curses successfully from a young age, showing great skill and magical ability. Crouch also kept the real Moody under control by employing the Imperious Curse for an entire year. If Crouch took on Voldemort, his plan would probably be in effect and executed before Voldemort even knew what was happening. Hermione Granger showed exceptional promise from the very beginning, and she only became more skilled as time progressed. Her magical capability easily surpassed others. Unlike most witches and wizards who depended solely on their magical ability, Hermione readily relied on logic, which often helped her to cleverly deduce information that others may have missed.
Actually, I'm highly logical, which allows me to look past extraneous detail and perceive clearly that which others overlook.
Hermione was one of the most skilled witches at Hogwarts and provided the protective and defensive spells that often saved the lives of the trio. Hermione demonstrated her exemplary abilities in dueling when she tangled with multiple Death Eaters, and she was usually evenly matched, despite the significant gap in age and experience. Hermione defeated Antonin Dolohov and Gregory Goyle, blasted Nagini to defend Harry, repelled Yaxley when he forcibly disapparated with her, blasted Phineas Greyback away from an injured Lavender Brown, and saved Harry and Ron from being apprehended by Death Eaters when the trio went to see Xenophilius Lovegood. She also defeated many Death Eaters during the Battle of Hogwarts, and held her own against Bellatrix Lestrange. She could magically manipulate objects to incapacitate or evade others. She had very fast reflexes when it came to wand work, placing shield charms before others could even draw their wands. Her dueling style was creative and unpredictable, mixing non-combat spells along with more conventional combative spells to overcome her opponents. She would have been able to put up a challenging fight for Voldemort. Bellatrix was an intensely sadistic witch with brutal, violent tendencies. She also possessed a fierce and dangerous temper. Bellatrix Lestrange was Voldemort's right hand. Bellatrix was the most formidable obstacle the heroes faced after Voldemort himself. Bellatrix usually preferred to torture her victims, displaying particular proficiency with the Cruciatus Curse, rather than killing them straight away. Doing so with such skill, her victims would pass out or even go insane. Bellatrix was an incredibly skilled and lethal duelist. She was also the only Death Eater to deflect a spell from Albus Dumbledore himself, another example of her formidable magical abilities. She finished off Sirius Black, Dobby, and Tonks, 3 accomplished and talented opponents. She would cast dark curses without hesitation, making her a deadly witch to encounter. During the final battle, she was one of the only Death Eaters left standing. If Voldemort's loyal lieutenant ever turned on him, she might prove as fearsome as her leader. She had the added advantage of having been trained by Voldemort himself. Bellatrix was a supremely skilled dark witch, and she never held back. Severus Snape was an extremely powerful and skilled wizard, showing proficient talent and great knowledge in many different areas of magic. He had encyclopedic knowledge and proficiency in potions, was incredibly talented in legilimency and occlumency, and was also the only Death Eater capable of producing a Patronus. Snape had a passion for the dark arts from a young age and was especially talented with curses. Dumbledore sought his help to contain a curse from Voldemort's Horcrux and to teach Harry about occlumency. Though Snape had a zest for dark magic, he possessed outstanding knowledge and abilities in protecting from it. Snape was shown to be a highly capable duelist. Snape dueled opponents as strong as McGonagall and stalemated with them while holding back his full force. During his days as a Death Eater, he likely had to fight against Aurors and members of the Order of the Phoenix. Snape would use his legilimency to read his opponent's attempted moves and counter them all before they could even be cast. Contrary to the vicious dueling styles of other Death Eaters, Snape preferred using defensive spells and only used aggressive magic when facing a weak opponent, or when his foe grew frustrated and started making mistakes. Snape proved that he could hold his own against Voldemort, and Voldemort would never see it coming. Sirius Black was a talented wizard capable of evading the Dementors and the entire magical community. He was talented with advanced magic such as the Animagus transformation he used to escape from Azkaban. However, at times he could also be reckless in the pursuit of his goals.
Let's kill him!
Sirius was skilled in physical combat and was a highly accomplished duelist, having actively participated in and survived the First Wizarding War. During the Battle of the Department of Mysteries, he defeated an unnamed Death Eater after a fierce fight and went on to duel Antonin Dolohov, an extremely dangerous duelist. He also held his own against his cousin Bellatrix, who was Voldemort's most powerful Death Eater, though his recklessness caused his death at her hands. Sirius possessed a dog's swift speed in his Animagus form, which allowed him to get the jump on his opponents before assuming his human form. Sirius's great intellect and magical ability would ensure that he would be able to battle Voldemort, to at least a stalemate, unless of course he allowed himself to get distracted, which once again could lead to his demise. Thanks for watching. If you liked that video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it on social media. Also, don't forget to leave a comment down below.